Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Coach's Corner. I am your host, Coach Terry Murray, bringing to you over 40 years of coaching experience to share with you, and however we can to where it will be acceptable to you. Good evening. I see people are already on. That's good. John Landy, brother John Landy. My daughter is on. Both daughters are on. That's good. Just kind of giving everybody a little bit of time. For those of you that are new tuning in, just wanted to let you know that we are a sports talk show from Northeast Ohio, right around the Cleveland area. And our pro sports teams are the Cleveland Browns, the Cleveland Guardians, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the hockey team, the Lake Erie Monsters. So when we start talking sports, most of the time, I would imagine that's probably what it's going to be about. One of those four teams or local teams, or hopefully some of the teams that I have coached in the past and into the thousands of players that I have coached in my career. And hopefully we'll get on at some point here. We're looking to get what we call a coach's spotlight section of the show, which allows 15 to 20 minutes of past players to come on and talk about their career and with me, and then where they're at now and how life's treating them and all that good stuff. So that is one of the new features that we're going to be adding to the show coming very, very soon. But tonight is our second episode for 2026, and I am so excited to be here tonight, man. We have had some things going on in the sports world, especially when I say world, I mean sports world with the Olympics going on. Man, can you believe what just transpired yesterday? What a game. What a game. The men's hockey team won the gold medal and went into overtime to win it against Canada. And the guy that scored the winning goal had just got his teeth knocked out in the last period, coming into the overtime period. And then he scores the winning goal. Man, what Jack Hughes, you'll forever go down in American, USA, Olympic, and sports history, brother. What a picture. What a tough game you played. And man, if that just doesn't show the American athlete and the toughness of him being able to get two teeth knocked out and still come back and score the winning goal. I just can't. Most people, if you get two teeth knocked out, you'd be sitting over on the bench and that would be it. But not old Jack Hughes, buddy. So hats off to the men's hockey team. And I just want to tell you this, the women's hockey team won gold also. So we were setting records everywhere in this winter's Olympics. We've won more gold medals than we've ever won before this winter. So, and then the women's, let's talk about the women for a minute because I was just so impressed. I could not get over it. The women were so fast and strong. Man, they were out there checking those other girls and women on the other team, and it didn't even look like it was fair. We were beating up on them pretty good. And I'm just so proud of our Olympic athletes that were able to go out there and compete and just whether they actually won the gold medal or not, it's all those years that they've accumulated practicing. And when you play in the Olympics, that's the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is arguably the biggest sporting event in all of sports, but the Olympics, I would have to say, is probably bigger than the Super Bowl because it is worldwide. So when you make it to the Olympics, you're competing against athletes from all over the world. So I just I was fascinated by the women, to be honest with you, because how fast they were skating and just their toughness was what amazed me. So I think we're showing the world right now that Americans aren't ones to be pushed around after this hockey game. I'm just going to come right out and say it because men and women's hockey stood their ground and played tough, physical, fast-paced hockey, and they both come home with the gold. So hats off to the hockey team. Great, yes. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. So again, we won 12 gold medals. 12 gold medals in this year's Olympics, which is, I didn't realize that was the most we've ever won. So I don't know about you. If you guys watch the Olympics, hey, Connor Adams is on. Jill, Bill, good to see you. Jill Billy is on board. Sweet revenge, she said. Yes, Miss Jill. Yes. Guys, don't go anywhere. I'm going to be announcing we are going to be having our trivia question for tonight. So make sure you stay on board here. Don't go anywhere because tonight's trivia question, I'm going to be giving away one of these right here, one of these coveted Coach's Corner hats. And if you win tonight's trivia, I'm going to make sure that you get one of these brand new Coach's Corner hats so you can represent Coach's Corner. I just want to say thank you all for being on board tonight. This is a talk show. We can't do it without you. We could, but it wouldn't be as fun, that's for sure. So I'm hoping some of my other listeners and buddies will get on board here real soon. But we're going to carry on with tonight. And what better time? Let's just go ahead and throw it out there right now. Let's do the trivia question right now. So tonight's trivia question, now this is how we're going to do this. The first one of you that answer the question correctly, I will announce it, and you will win the Coach's Corner hat. So here's the trivia question. Are you ready? Now, anybody that watches the show, let's give a test trivia question right now. All of you that are watching the show right now, what sport and what team do we talk about the most? Just type it in the comments down there, and let's see if you guys really know Coach's Corner here. Jill said, the only two things I watched were the men and the women's hockey. Well, Jill, you watched some good games right there because those guys were phenomenal. And it just seems funny, like they just come out with the movie on, I think it was Netflix, correct me if I'm wrong, about the 1980s USA hockey team, men's hockey team, that won the gold back in 1980. And man, what a movie that was. I so enjoyed that. Oh, Jill said, Jill, ding, ding, ding. You got it, Jill. Ding, ding, ding. You got it. She said the Cleveland Browns, and you're absolutely right. We talk about the Browns more than anybody else. We're going to try to get over that. You know, the Guardians they've just started spring training. They're down there. Look like they're tearing it up already down there. So we will be talking some Guardians here coming up real soon. If we can get through tonight's topic points, we might even get into that. But it all is just takes if we have enough time to do it, is what I should say. If we have enough time, we'll get it included. So here we go. So we're all on board. We're listening. Okay, so tonight's trivia question is this: how many years did Cleveland's favorite quarterback? Who do you think that is? Who can guess who Cleveland's favorite quarterback is? If you're a Browns fan, I know you're going to get this, because that's who the trivia question is going to be about tonight. It's going to be about this Browns quarterback. I'm waiting to see if anyone will guess who it is before we go forward. But let's talk before we go too far off of the men's hockey team. I just want to say this. The Olympics, the USA Olympic teams, was a good opportunity to bring our country a little bit back together. You know, anybody that, I'm not going to talk politics, so don't get freaked out, because you guys know I will, but I'm just going to say this. I think the Olympics come at a good time to where we could get our country back to realizing that we're all part of this country and we all are American citizens, you know, United States of America. And, you know, we need to root for America. It kills me now to see how some people, without getting into politics, will chastise those that are proud to be from the United States of America and support the American flag, which that will always be me. That will always be for what this show stands for. So I just want to say that we're proud of all of our Olympians, but especially the hockey team, who Tim Couch, Jade, my daughter, is trying to be funny right now, like she always does. John Landy, you got it. It is Bernie Kosar. So tonight's trivia question, it's all about Bernie Kosar. So here it is. Get ready. The first one to answer is going to win this coveted Coach's Corner, brand new Coach's Corner hat. So here's the question. How many years did Cleveland's favorite quarterback play for the Cleveland Browns? You're on the clock. So the first one that gets it will be getting a Coach's Corner, brand new Coach's Corner hat, and representing CC, Coach's Corner. All right, guys, a little bit, because most of you that are listening to the show. Harry Azana, good to see you, brother. Jill Bill says 8. Oh, man. Nope, that's not it. So be thinking. Close, but no cigar. What do we have here? John Landy, Jill beat me. No, guys, it's not 8 years. It's not 8 years, I can tell you that. So the first one that get it right. Let me, while we're doing these questions right now, Connor said 7. It's not 7, Connor. I'm sorry. Not 7. We got people jumping all over the place. Come on, you're almost home with this thing. John Landy, where you at? Let's see. I'm looking at all the comments here. What do we got? We've got 7. It's not 7. Oh, man. Let me tell you some stats while you're still thinking about Bernie Kosar. BK, Bernie Kosar. I love number 19, one of my favorite quarterbacks. Matter of fact, I'm not going to say one. He is my favorite quarterback of all time for the Cleveland Browns. There's just no doubt about it. And I'm going to tell you why, because here's some of his stats. You ready? He took us to 3 straight AFC championship games. 3. And 5 consecutive playoff appearances. What wouldn't you give right now, today, to be able to say that about the Cleveland Browns? Matter of fact, how many years, well, it's a redundant, stupid question, I guess. The last time we've had anything like that is when Bernie Kosar was here, was back then. He played in 108 games, passed for over 21,904 yards, threw for 116 touchdowns, and isn't in the Hall of Fame. And he went on to win. John Landy. Oh, you're the winner, John. You're the winner. I'm telling you, it was 9 years. You did it, John. You did it. 9 years, John Landy. You're the winner of this brand new Coach's Corner hat. I will make sure you get that this week because we want you representing. Yes, he played 9 years for the Cleveland Browns, and we all know the story. Bill Belichick come in and said that he was, how did he say it? He had diminishing skills. Is that what he said? I think that's what it was. He said he had diminishing skills. Well, so Bernie's last play for the Cleveland Browns, I guess he was going to go show Belichick. He went up there and drew a play up in the dirt with Michael Jackson and threw about a 50 or a 60-yard touchdown pass to Michael Jackson at Cleveland Stadium. And that was Bernie's last game and play with us, if I'm not mistaken. And then he went on to be with the Dallas Cowboys. And then we all know what happened there. Bernie Kosar won a Super Bowl ring playing for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, he was in a backup role, but he did play some while he was there with Dallas and contributed that season when the starting quarterback went down. But Bernie Kosar got his Super Bowl ring. Just unfortunately, it wasn't with our beloved Cleveland Browns. So, John, congratulations. 9 years from 1985 to 1993. He played for the Browns. And we all know the heartache. We talked about it last week. We had the Biner fumble. We had the Elway, the drive, as they call it. And it was just sad. It was sadness all the way around because we were a very, very good football team. We just couldn't quite pull it off like so many teams. That's why, guys, when a team makes it to that championship game, the championship game, it's so important. You've got to win that game because there's no guarantee that you get back there. And if you do win the game, then you get to go to the Super Bowl, and win or lose the Super Bowl, there's no guarantee you'll get back to the Super Bowl either. Like everybody's saying, what about Seattle next year? Do you think they'll be back? I'll be honest. Odds are I don't think they will. And I'll tell you why. They've got a great team, but it is so hard to repeat. What do we have here? That was Art Modell. Yeah, Art Modell bringing in Bill Belichick. That's what it was. And Bill thought Bernie was washed up, John. And, Bernie went on to go to Dallas and win a Super Bowl ring. So I guess in a way he has Bill Belichick to thank for that because he went on and got a Super Bowl ring. So what was the question? Jill, the question was how many years did Bernie play for the Cleveland Browns? I thought you had it. Didn't you guess at it? Let me see. Yeah, you said 8 years. That was the question. Question was how many years, that was a trivia question, did Bernie play for the Cleveland Browns? And it was 9 years. Yep, convinced by Lombardi. John knows his Cleveland Brown history there, for sure. He was. Lombardi was the, was he the GM? GM or vice president? I'm trying to remember now. It's been a while and a lot of trivia there. But anyways, yes. So, John, you won a hat this evening. And we're moving on to our question. Last week, we started to get into what else or who else, should I say, but the Cleveland Browns. But we started running out of time, and we couldn't get into the conversation that we wanted to have. So the question I have for you is this. It's just I'm throwing a flag on the question because you said years. It's 8 years, but 9 seasons. Oh, man. She's getting me on a technicality here. I've got down, okay. So I wanted to make sure. So I looked it up and it said, just telling you what I got from the source of information that I was using was it said 9, but 8 seasons. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do, Jill. We're going to research that, and I'm going to take your word for it. And if you are right, then guess what, Jill? I'm going to give you a Coach's Corner hat too, and you can represent Coach's Corner and wear that hat everywhere you go, Jill. Send me a picture of it so I can put you on here. Okay? So I appreciate it. And where was I going? Shedeur Sanders. That's where we were going to go. We were going to start. We just started getting into that last week, and we started running out of time. So here's my question for you tonight. The talk show tonight is I wanted to get into it because if you listen to the Cleveland sports talk shows, they drive me nuts. I'm sorry. I don't know if they've been doing it so long that and they get paid to do it that they're just looking for topics, but some of the ideas and some of the thoughts that they have, like here's what I'm going to tell you. Here's what I heard this week before we get into Shedeur Sanders. So the big, some of the topics of conversation this week was about Myles Garrett. Here we go again. So we just signed Myles Garrett, no trade clause, $40 million a year. The guy goes out on one of the worst teams in the league this year and wins for the second time in a row the defensive player of the year after really being the I don't want to say the only defensive player, but to be that dominant. And you guys know as well as I do, they double team and triple team. They triple team him almost every time that he has, that he takes a snap. He's got 2 or 3 players on him all the time. And the guy still broke the sack record this year. But here's the topic of conversation this week on some of this week's sports shows, which I do listen to them, but they drive me crazy. I've got to turn them off when they start getting too ridiculous. So they were wanting to trade Myles Garrett. It's like, I'm telling you guys now, write this down in your book that I said this, and I mean it. Myles Garrett is going to go down as one of the greatest defensive ends this league has ever seen. He might be absolutely the greatest defensive end before it's all over. He's just getting started. Everybody's saying, oh, he's getting older. Have you seen the guy's physique? And have you seen the guy's in great shape. And they're like, well, it's a few more years, you're going to start slowing down. In the meantime, he's going to go get you 25 sacks next year and maybe for 2 or 3 or 4 more years after that, because the guy, that's what he does. And they want to trade him off and get all these draft picks of maybes. Maybes. This is what these sports talk, these analysts, so to speak, don't understand. You're trading away the absolute best defensive end in football. This is what some of them wanted to do. They wanted to trade away. They wanted the factory of sackness. You got that right, Joe. They wanted to trade away Myles Garrett, number 95, trade him away and we can get 2 first-round draft choices this year and a second round next year and this and that. Man, come on. Come on, you guys. Seriously. Where does those draft choices, you guys should know better than that. If you're Cleveland talk show host and Cleveland sports fans, how many times do we go out and we get these number 1 players supposed to be in the draft because we're usually at the bottom of the draft or at the bottom of the league, so we get the top draft choice. We get them in here and they don't pan out. You've got Myles Garrett, who was our number 1 pick in the draft. He has panned out. And all you guys can talk about, let's trade him away and get some draft choices. Let's trade him away and get some draft choices. Come on, man. Get real. Myles Garrett is going to go down as the best defensive end and maybe the best defensive player professional football has ever seen. There you go. I'm going on there to say it, and that's my story, and I'm going to stick to it. The guy is he's the most dominant player I have ever seen in a Cleveland Browns uniform. There it is. The most dominant. When you have 3 players trying to beat one guy all the time in the NFL, what's that tell you? It's always about the future and not about now. You got that right, John. They're always worried about let's trade him off and let's get some draft picks and move on and yeah. Mm-mm. No, I'm not that. I think Miles is here to stay. He is Mr. Cleveland Brown and he represents this team. And I cannot see trading him away. I say we keep him here and he retires from here. He's bought a small interest in the Cleveland Cavaliers, man. He's he can play some sports. Have you ever watched him play basketball? That guy can get up and dunk a basketball, man. I'm telling you right now, the guy's a great athlete. He's a great basketball player. So, and he's bought part ownership into the Cleveland Cavaliers. So he likes it here. He wants to be here. And all our stupid talk show hosts, and I'm going to call them stupid. Sorry, I'm calling people names, but they aggravate me. I'm tired of hearing it. If I could get on there, I would tell them because you're ridiculous. Get off of that and let's talk about real stuff. Let's talk about the fact that you got a new coach, you're getting a new coaching staff, and let's talk about moving and building the future. So that's where Shedeur Sanders is. He is the future. That's why we're going to talk about Shedeur right now. My question is for you right now. Do you think Shedeur Sanders will be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns in the 2026 season? Why don't you let me know what you think about that? And we will talk about it and get into some things. Or we've got our other two quarterbacks. Yes, Deshaun Watson, the billion-dollar man, well, million, I should say. He's coming back, and they say he's in great shape. So I'm sure they're probably going to give him a shot to get out there and compete. And then you've got Dillon Gabriel. I'm sorry, Dillon Gabriel, but I think he is probably the most wasted third round draft choice that the Browns have had in some time. I don't even think Dillon, and he was a great college player. I'm not going to take it from him, but I'm just telling you like it is. Nobody else in the NFL had him on their draft board any higher than maybe a sixth, but probably a seventh round projection if he got picked. And our great coach, who was always the smartest one in the room, Kevin Stefanski, he he decided he was going to take him in the third round. The third round he took him. I can't get over that. Just you know, took him in the third round. And then we decided to go after Shedeur Sanders. And I, for the life of me, would have loved to been in the war room, they call it, as they're choosing and picking their players, and just heard the conversation on that pick. Because none of them were totally together on it. Okay, they were, saying that the owner was saying that he couldn't have said that he was going to pick Shedeur Sanders, and it just total shocked him and surprised him and all that stuff. And Jill says, yeah, they're talking about Deshaun. I know they're talking about Deshaun, and to be honest with you, if he were to come back under this coach, because you heard my comments last week. My comments last week were, I'm not so sure that Kevin Stefanski knew how to put an offense together for Deshaun Watson. He was trying to make Deshaun Watson, play his offense, where if he would have maybe tried to understand him a little bit better, or my thought is the smartest guy in the room, no offense, but offense, didn't know how to build his plays around his players. And that's what I said. He just didn't know how. Mark Paz now is in the house. Coach Paz, I'm hearing Watson to be the starter unless we get lucky in free agency. Oh, God, I know. That's what they're talking. They're saying Deshaun Watson is going to be back and he's going to be the guy. Coach Paz now is on, my lifelong friend since we were 9 years old. So that's about a 54-year friendship. Yep, I'm giving my age. 54 years.
Awesome!
Yeah, that's crazy. So, Shedeur Sanders, I'm thinking he is the future of this team. I think the guy's a player. I think the locker room follows him. I think he motivates people. I think he is a leader. Now, I know when you look at him, he's okay. So here it is. He's a Christian kid. He's a good kid. Um, a lot of people think he's just too soft and all this. Guys, you got to look at his numbers in college. Look what he did in college. He is not soft. The kid got sacked more than anybody, but he also threw for more yards than anybody. He was pretty amazing in college, and I think he has that ability here, if they give him a chance in the pros, to maybe do the same thing. Pinpoint accuracy at times. Last year his stats were like 1,400 yards in 8 games, 7 touchdowns, but he had 10 interceptions. Well, what you have to think of is this. Our offensive line was not that great at all. Matter of fact, they were horrible last year, and a lot of those interceptions came when he was trying to make things happen. Jill Bill said Mrs. Haslam is running the show. Well, and Kevin Stefanski's in his regards, I believe you're right, Jill. I believe he was running she was running the show. He might have had a little crush on Kevin, I think. That's what I think. I don't know how the guy stayed around as long as he did. But we'll find out. The proof's going to be in the pudding next year when he gets over there with Atlanta, and we'll see what he does. He got the gang all back together. He got Callahan as his line coach. He got who was offensive coordinator. He got him back from what was his name? What's his name? Van Pelt. What was his last name? Anyways, he's there, and he's got a lot of the gangs all here, guys, back with him. So he's trying to build his coaching staff like he had it when he was here, but it didn't work for him here. So I don't know what he's thinking over there. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't care anymore. I really don't. As long as he's not here with us, and I never, ever have to hear again, we need to be better. I need to be better. We need to get better. I'm so over that comment. I could never hear that again in my life and be totally okay with it. So back to my question here about Deshaun. Who do you guys think this year should be, who do you think is going to be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns? Who do you personally think? Not what you're hearing, but who do you personally think? We'll come back and revisit this, and you guys can remind me and say, hey, remember I told you on your show, only the second show, I told you that it was Dylan Gabriel. Boy, that would be a shocker right there. So anyways, let me know in your comments who your pick is to start the 2026 season. Coach Dixon's on board. Let's see. Browns need an offensive line, a new wide receiver room, surround Shedeur with playmakers. You got that right. Trading Myles Garrett is a mistake. You know it. You never get better trading your best player. Amen, Coach. You got it. You got it. Jade Murray stuck on Tim Couch. I think she thought he was cute. That's why she keeps saying Tim Couch. Oh, man. Yes. Coach Dixon, it is good to have you on board tonight. Coach, give me a call sometime. We're going to see maybe if we can get back out sometime in the very near future and do a we'll do an on-location broadcast from Coach Dixon gym out there in Grafton. So give me a call and we'll talk about that. Mark Pasnow says, Malik Willis, Mark, Coach Pasnow, you have been listening to Sports Talk today because that's what they've been talking about. I wouldn't take Malik Willis, and here's what I'm going to tell you why, Coach. I think he's going to want too much money, and he's definitely not a proven commodity right now, in my opinion. I think if we get him, they're going to have to sign him to 3, 4, 5 years, and there's no way I'm going to sign him to 3, 4, 5 years. I could be wrong, and it could come back to haunt me later. But my thought is we have pretty much got Shedeur Sanders signed on his rookie contract for a little bit of nothing. So if we give the kid a chance next year and he really does well and he comes out and he plays ball, we've got him for 2 more years on his rookie contract. Why would we want to go out and pay another quarterback that maybe isn't, like Malik Willis is still not proven. I know he had a good game against, who was it? It was a Saturday night game. Raiders, maybe. He had a pretty good game there, but I don't think it's good enough to give him uh, a long contract yet. Now he's maybe going to get it. We'll see, but I'm I'm ready to ride or die with these three quarterbacks. Believe it or not, I know you guys probably don't, want to go along with that, but that's just one coach's opinion right here. That I think I would give Shadur a chance. Let's see what Deshaun Watson has if he has anything left, and you still got Dylan Gabriel on his rookie contract, and let's roll the dice with them and see where it goes. I personally think that Todd Monken is going to be a good coach and know how to work his plays a little bit to benefit these guys. Hey guys, let's take a timeout real quick. I want you, if you would, we need here at Coach's Corner, I need 20 some more subscribers to my YouTube channel, so we'll be able to to go ahead and go live on YouTube. So if you could, there's a link down at the bottom of Coach's Corner here. Go to the link. It'll take you to the Coach's Corner YouTube page and like and subscribe so we can get our 50 subscribers. I would so appreciate it, and we will be on more platforms than just Facebook right now. I share this, but it's after it's over to the YouTube channel. So I would like to be able to go live on Facebook, go live here, and on Instagram too, and we can get more people involved. Again, those of you that might be listening to this, we are a Northeast Ohio, Cleveland area talk show. We do talk sports here. Sometimes we might get into some other things, but that's just the way it is. Sports is a lot like the game of life. What you put into it is what you get out of it. That's what I used to say as a coach. So we put a lot into our sports around this town. Let me tell you that. What do we have here? Trade Dylan, John Landy says. Coach Pasnell says, Shadur will get killed without a good offensive line. Yes. Yes, at least Willis will run for his life. Yeah. Well, Shadur will too, Coach. He'll run for his life. I'm hoping. Now, Coach Dixon hit it on the head there. He said we got to update the receiving room. That's for sure. We have got to get a number one receiver. I think we use our first pick. I'm sorry, the Browns are not known to do this. But we have got to go out and get us a receiver who's going to be all that and then some. If we can go out and get that receiver, now there's several of them out there. You guys can voice your opinion on that. I think you already know who I think they should take, but I want to hear who you think they should take as a receiver. And then we go out and we draft a lineman in number 24. And then in the next couple rounds, let's get a couple more linemen and then get one more receiver. I say we go all linemen and all receivers. Yes, we need maybe a safety too to throw in there, but we've already got one of the top defenses in the league. We've got to fix our offense. You guys agree with me on that one? Let's see what we got here. Chuck from Columbus down there says, what kind of computer system, CPU and graphics card are you using to do this broadcast, Coach? I find it very interesting. Well, thank you, Chuck. Actually, I'm just using Facebook, brother. Facebook comes up with all this and allows me to do what I'm doing here. So I went out now. We did update the studio a little bit. I went out and I got some the podcast equipment here that I'm using with all the sound effects and stuff. But that's what I needed the last time we were doing it. There was just too much background noise and things like that. So now I'm hoping this sounds pretty good. What do you guys think? Do I sound pretty good on this live broadcast? And the sound effects, does that sound legit? Let me know what you think on that. I would appreciate it. Like I said, we don't have a talk show without you guys. So you guys are a big part of this. Now, next week, goal is I want to be bringing someone on the Coach's Corner Spotlight. And Not sure if it's going to be a coach yet. Maybe one of my past players, but make sure you tune in next Monday night at 7:30 because you just don't know. The old coach here, like I said, we've coached into the thousands of players, and we've had several pro players. Uh, one one by the name is Isabel Geraci, Izzy, as we like to call her, made the um, flag, the USA World Women's Flag Football, and she is actually doing commercials now for Under Armour. So let's hear it for Izzy. Boy, that would be something. If we could get her on here, I would love to be able to do an interview with Miss Izzy. So, Miss Izzy, if you are watching this, old coach is calling you out here. I would love to get you on the show. Are you bringing this to Jay? Hey, Lucy. Lucy's on board. Chuck says, he says, yeah, you sound normal as normal can be. Very good. Too legit to quit. Um, Tradable players for the O-line, John Landy says. Trade somebody and get some O-linemen. I agree with that. If we have some people to trade, I don't know. Sing a song. No. Coach Pass, sing a song and we'll see how good your equipment is. Oh, you're funny. You
Awesome.
are. No singing, please. No singing. I leave that for you, Coach. And your version of All by Myself will always go down and live forever in our memories. So I cannot outdo my buddy, Coach Paz now. He is the best at that. Cool for Izzy. Yeah, she is amazing. I would say go to her Instagram, go on Instagram, look her up, and she's always posting about herself. And she had this one session where she was just practicing catching one-handed. I mean, one-handed catches. It was phenomenal and amazing. I have to say she played football for the North Ridgeville Mini Rangers. That's how I got to know her. She went on up through 8th grade. I think she played her freshman year. Then she quit, went on to track and basketball, set the record for the most points scored in basketball for the North Ridgeville High School, and then went on and played 5 years of college Division I basketball. And now she's traveling the world playing flag football, and her goal is to be playing in the 2028 Summer Olympics with the flag team, and we will be supporting her on that. Let's see what we got here. What is everyone saying? No, please, no singing. That's right. No problem here, Chuck. I'm not going to be singing. I'm going to leave that to Coach. We'll get him on here. We are definitely going to have Coach on as a guest. Maybe even next week if I can talk him into it. So put that in your pipe and be smoking it a little bit, Coach, and see what you think on that one. But okay, where are we at? I'm going to run out of time here. So we got 8:15. Don't forget, please go to the link that we have on the Coach's Corner Facebook page and click on it. It'll take you over to YouTube and like and subscribe because we need about 22, 24 more subscribers to be able to go live on Facebook. Okay, so now you guys you're commenting, you're putting all your comments in, but you're not telling me who's the quarterback next year. Mark says, Coach Pass says he thinks it's going to be Deshaun Watson, or he's hearing it's going to be Deshaun. But tell me, who do you guys think it's going to be? That's the fun of it. I'm going on record to say it's going to be Shedeur. It's going to be Shedeur. I just think no matter how great a shape Deshaun Watson is in and how much money they're paying him, you can't set out all these years. You just can't do it. The guy has not played a game for what? How many is it? It's almost 2 years now. And before that, he didn't play very many, and he set out a year before that. The guy has been out now he's been out of the league almost as much as he's been in it, as far as years go, in his career. So I don't know. Now I'll tell you, I'll go on board to say this. If he does come out and he starts and he does well, my gosh, what a story that's going to be. What a story that would be. And hey, as long as we're winning ball games, I don't think we're going to be mad at him if that's the case. What do we got here? It says, oh, Jade's on here starting trouble. It says, why don't you join him? It'd be Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Okay, all right. We are not singing, not singing. We need a new start, says Chuck says. Draft Sanders is a bit Sanders is a bit small for the NFL. Okay, Chuck. All right. They need a reprieve for the fans. If I said that right, yes, you're right. So, are you saying no to Deshaun, Jill? Are you saying no? Is that what you're saying? Just seems like the type that would get injured and milk the contract. I don't know. I don't know, Chuck, if that would be the case. That boy comes from good genes. I mean, uh, Neon Sanders was one of the best ball players I've ever seen in my life, and he played two sports at the same time. Literally would fly from. He played professional baseball. He'd fly from his game, um, baseball game, or no, how did it go? He'd fly from his football practice to his baseball game and play for them. So he's a great athlete. Now the genes, Shadur's got those genes in him too, man. He's a good athlete, I think. John Landy says, I hope it's Sanders unless they make a dumb trade. Well, they're noticed to do that. Coach, hey, there he is. Dustin McElhaney. Hey, buddy. He says, hey, Coach, just wanted to pop in and send some love. Hope all is well. It is, Dustin. I hope all is well with you, buddy. Thanks for stopping in. D Mac, as we like to call him, he was a lineman for us. He went on. He's actually coaching for the North Ridgeville High School Rangers. Dustin was a mini Ranger himself, and his dad was a coach for us too. And his dad was coaching for the high school and junior high. I don't know if he still is. I don't think he is. Deshaun needs to go, Jill says, and Chuck says, I don't know about that, he says. Dion is 1 in a million, though. Yeah, you're right. He is. He is. But I got a hunch. I'm just going to say that. Got a hunch that Shedeur is going to come out next year with the help of Todd Monken and head coach Todd Monken and actually prove himself. Go, Dustin. All right. Let's see what time we got here. Okay. Oh, yeah, we got a few minutes. That's good. All right. So I think the majority, well, we've got Coach Paz is saying he thinks it's Deshaun. John saying he thinks it's going to be, it's going to be Shedeur, and see what anybody else is saying here. Okay. So I'll put my 2 cents in. One thing we know for sure, Jade, it's not going to be Tim Couch, but I'm going to say I think it's going to be Shedeur. Could be wrong, and that'll be okay because, really who I'm banking on this year is the coach, is the new head coach. Everybody's going to say that, that Kevin Stefanski was a good head coach and he, was a good offensive coach. That's how he got his head coaching job. But I beg to differ with you. I don't think that's the case. I think we jumped the gun a little bit with him, even though, hey, what do I know? The guy got two times Coach of the Year. And like I said, the second time I think it was with Mears, but he still won anyways. But let's move on and give Todd Monken a chance. Let's see what Chuck's got for us. Going to come out and be injured within 6 games for the season, basically on vacation. Well, Chuck, it could. He could. Oh, from LSU. Garrett from LSU, 4th round. I would give him a shot. Some people are saying that they might do that. Then you've got 4 quarterbacks. You can always cut one or trade them. I see that. But I'm not willing. I don't think I'm willing too much to give up unless we can go in free agency. If we can go in free agency and get a lineman, an offensive lineman, not one. We need to get a couple in free agency. bring them in, and then draft a couple of studs to rebuild our offensive line. And then if we have a draft pick left that we could make a pick like that, Coach Paz, I probably would. Coach Paz says he thinks it's Sanders, so let's see what's going to be. Okay. Monk, who's going to join us to be on the Monkin man? Monkin. Oh, I get it. Monkin man. Who's going to join us to be a Monkin man? That's what John Landy's saying. And there you go. I just sang. There you have it, Chuck. I didn't mean to, but it just happened. The Monkin man. Yes. Yeah, we draft like poop. That's true, man. Our draft is not good. How many of you think that Andrew Berry, I'm hoping and hoping that the new head coach, Todd Monken, has more say on the draft, because rumor has it that it was Andrew Berry doing it by himself, and Kevin Stefanski didn't have any say in it, which I think is ridiculous. How can you be a head coach? They expect you to run a program and not have a say on your own players. I think that's ridiculous. But if Andrew Berry is the one picking, the only one, then I just think that's absolutely showing ignorance on the part of the Haslams to let him be able to do that. I don't personally think that Todd Monken's the guy to let that happen. So I'm going to go on record to say that. Monken won't stand for it. If he's got some people, I'm sure he's got some thoughts. They've already talked about it, and he's told them that's like, we need this, and I'm sure he's going to have a say. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not a big fan of Andrew Berry. Personally, I think he should have went right out the door behind Kevin Stefanski. The only thing that saved him was the draft from last year, but because he let Kevin Stefanski, or he was the GM, he took Dylan Gabriel. I think that's enough to let him go. Now, Schlesinger, that was his saving grace. That's what saved that man, was when Schlesinger had the defensive player of the year for a rookie. And I think that's what saved him. See, John Landy, we need more excitement on the draft team. Yes, we do need. The fans, it's a shame, John Landy, that we, as Cleveland fans, the biggest thing we have to get excited about is what? The draft. So all year long, yes, Lucy said, bye, Andrew. I agree. Andrew Berry needs to go. Now, unfortunately, I think they've waited too long. When they hired the new coach, I think they should have hired a new GM, but that's just my thought. My thought, should have got a new GM to go along with the new coach and see where it would have took us. But guys, I like where we're going with Monken. At first, I didn't, because I was a Jim Schwartz kind of guy. I wanted to see him get his shot. I think they messed that up. They should have fired Kevin Stefanski during the season, gave Jim Schwartz a shot and see what he could have done, like before the halfway point. I mean, we already knew that we weren't going to make the playoffs, and the season wasn't even halfway over. So why did we need to keep Kevin Stefanski around? They could have let him go right then, and then use Jim Schwartz for the rest of the year, and let's see what happened. But a lot of people say, oh, they were using him because they needed him to help Shedeur Sanders out, which I don't see how he did. I mean, when he was pulling him out on the goal line, I'm sorry, it almost looked like sabotage to me. Yes, I'm saying it. It looked like sabotage, because he would get right down, lead him all the way downfield, passing the ball, and then they would take him out and put Artell back in there to let him run the, what do you call it? The Wildcat. Let him run the Wildcat. Are you kidding me? What kind of confidence are you giving our rookie quarterback? And this is your head coach that was supposed to be an offensive guru and an offensive wizard. You know what makes a young rookie quarterback confident? That he can throw a touchdown when he gets in the red zone and let him score in the red zone. And that, you see, I'm getting excited now. this gets me. This gets my blood boiling. But instead, he took him out. So I don't see how he helped him. If anything, he hurt him, to be quite honest. So I'm just on record to say that. What do we got? What do we got here? Bye, Andrew. Let's see. Charles says, bye, Andrew. And the Cleveland Cavaliers. What did I miss? The Cleveland Cavaliers. What are we talking about there, Chuck? I agree, Coach, about Barry. I didn't understand it. I don't either. I don't understand it, man. I really don't. But guys, next week, we've only got a few minutes left, so let's go on. I just want to say I appreciate you guys coming on. You know, anytime I get to talk to you guys is a good time. So I appreciate you guys coming on. Tell your friends about it. Make sure you share this. When you go on, you can still share it on your page when we go live, and everybody else will get it. All your friends will get it too. Don't forget, though, please go to the YouTube and like and subscribe. The link is down on the bottom of our Coach's Corner Facebook page. I've added it to it. Go there and subscribe and like and subscribe to that so we can get some more listeners from YouTube. But next week, okay, so Jill, let's hear it one more time. Jill, Bill, and John Landy each won a Coach's Corner, brand new Coach's Corner hat to represent Coach's Corner. I appreciate you guys. I will make sure to get that to you. I will reach out to you, and we'll make arrangements to where I can drop it off or you can pick it up, and we will watch it. Anybody else that's watching that isn't normally on, I just want to say thanks for watching the show. If you get to see this later, again, we are from Northeast Ohio. We talk about Cleveland sports and other sports that we've all been involved in with some of my coaches along the way. And next week, I plan on kicking off the Coaches Spotlight. It'll be about 15 minutes with another coach or player. We're going to bring him on board, and we're going to talk and maybe even let him co-host the show a little bit as we go along, or her co-host the show as we go along. So tune in next week. Don't forget that if you have a problem, don't ever think a problem's too big. When you think it's too big, it's not too big for God. So give it over to God. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure this is Coach's Corner. Tell all your friends. Tune in next week every Monday night at 7:30. And I just want to say, this is the coach. Peace. I'm out.